to our tribute to Frank Sinatra concert here at the Student Center. We're happy you're here tonight to see us. This is the Bentley Jazz Band. We're a little short-handed tonight. We're missing a couple of our horn players. But we have a very special guest artist tonight, and we'd like to introduce him right now. A man I've known for quite a number of years now, although we're not very old either, are we? Anyway, this is Mr. Brendan McHugh. Mr. McHugh is a native of Boston, as I am, and I've known him from the Boston music Irish scene for quite a long time. He plays with a group called the Silver Spears. He's had extensive piano training at the New England Conservatory of Music, and I hope you'll enjoy what Mr. McHugh has to bring for us tonight. Now, he's filling in for a missing person on this song, L-O-V-E. Now, the first song we heard, Blue Skies, Frank's, just to give a little Sinatra connection on a couple of these, Frank Sinatra started out singing in big bands in the late 1930s and the early 1940s, and he recorded that song with the Tommy Dorsey Big Band back in the early 1940s. And so that's the connection for that one. Now this one that's coming up right now, L.O.V., it's a standard song that a lot of people recorded, but one of the best versions is by Frank Sinatra, and we hope you enjoy it.
For the way you look at me, and oh, it's for the only one I see. B is very, very extraordinary, and E is even more than anyone that you adore can love. All that I'm gonna give to you, hey, love, more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it, love. It's made for me and you. I'm gonna give to you, hey, love. It's more than just a game for two. Two in love can make it. Take my heart, but please don't break it, love. It's made for me and you. Made for me and you. Made for me and you.
Brendan McHugh on the vocal.
Thanks, folks.
Also, Lexi Katarnakis on the flute solo. Now, Mr. McHugh has picked out a couple of very famous Frank Sinatra tunes as a medley. You're going to hear a song called It Had to Be You, going into a song called You Make Me Feel So Young.
It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around, finally found somebody who could make me be true, make me be blue, or even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross, try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you. wonderful you, had to be you. Some others I've seen might never be mean, might never be cross, try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gave me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you, it had to be you. Yes, it had to be you, wonderful you, had to be you. You make me feel so young. You make me feel that spring has sprung. And every time I see you grin, I'm like a happy individual the moment that you speak. I wanna go play hide and seek. I wanna go and find some moon just like a big balloon. You and I are just like a couple of tots running across that meadow, thinking out all those forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. Make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, a wonderful thing to be flung. And when I'm old and gray, I wanna feel the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so young. We are just like a couple of tots running across that meadow, thinking up all those forget-me-nots. You make me feel so young. Make me feel there are songs to be sung, bells to be rung, and a wonderful fling to be flung. And I'm old and gray. I want to go the way I do today, 'cause you make me feel so. You make me feel so. You make me feel so young.
Okay. Now continue along in the Sinatra vein here. A song very famous by Frank Sinatra. His recording is one of his biggest hits. A song called Witchcraft. It's going to feature the band. Now, this is a fairly casual thing, so if you want to get some food as you're doing it, you can do that too, I suppose. Are we having a special break for food? Huh? Are we having a break for food? Well, not yet.
You guys can get food though, there's a ton over here. Pizza and mozzarella. It's free. Lots of soda. Chicken
Come on
wings.
that end if you're shy.
You should take a break to say hi to me.
We'll say hi to everybody. Okay, we've got a special little treat for you now. We put together a little thing called Memories of the Rat Pack. We got a little script going and some notes and things like that. And it says Frank versus Dean. Dean, of course, would be Dean Martin, another member of the Rat Pack. And so playing the part of Frank Sinatra will be Mr. McHugh. And playing the part of Dean Martin will be some guy with a bass guitar. So, Maestro. The original Rat Pack was a group of actors originally centered on Humphrey Bogart. But in the mid-1960s, it was the name used by the press and the general public to refer to a later version of the group. After Bogart's death, that actually called itself the Summit. So the guys in the Rat Pack actually referred to themselves as the Summit. Featuring Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop. They appeared together on stage and in films in the early 1960s, including the movies Ocean's 11 and Sergeant 3. Sinatra, Martin, and Davis were regarded as the group's lead members. Sinatra, of course, was the most famous of the crew. One of his biggest hits of the 1960s was The Summer Wind, which hit the pop charts in 1966.
The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. All summer long we sang a song and then strode that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind. Like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath that blue umbrella sky. And softer than a piper man, one day it called to you. I lost you too, lost you to the summer wind. Yeah, the autumn wind and the winter wind, they have come and gone. Still those days, those lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs his lullabies, though nights that never end. My fickle friend, the summer wind. Well, the autumn wind and the winter wind, they have come and gone. And still those days, those lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs his lullabies through nights that never end? My fickle friend, the summer wind. Yeah. Yeah, the summer wind. Oh, summer wind.
Right. Often, when one of the members of the Rat Pack would perform, the rest of the pack would show up for an impromptu show, causing much excitement among audiences, resulting in return visits. They sold out almost all of their appearances, and people would come pouring into Las Vegas, sometimes sleeping in cars and hotel lobbies when they could not find rooms. Amazing, isn't it? Just to be a part of the Rat Pack entertainment experience. The Rat Pack's appearances were of unprecedented value because the city would always become flooded with high rollers, wealthy gamblers, and would routinely leave substantial fortunes in the casino's coffers. The marquees of the hotels at which they were performing as individuals would read, for example, Dean Martin, maybe Frank, maybe Sammy, as seen at the Sands Hotel sign. Now, Dean Martin, of course, was probably the next best known of the Rat Pack. He had the most musical success of the group outside of Sinatra. One of his many hit songs of the 1964's You're Nobody Till Somebody Loves You. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world still is the same, you'll never change it. As sure as the stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. Still is the same, you'll never change it. As sure as the stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love. Continues. On June 20th, 1965, Sinatra, Martin, and Davis, with Johnny Carson as their MC, performed their only televised concert together during the heyday of the Pack at the Kiel Opera House in St. Louis. It was a closed-circuit broadcast done as a fundraiser for Dismas House, the first halfway house for ex-convicts. What was the second halfway house for ex-convicts? I don't know. And it was fed live to movie theaters as well. Now, 30 years later, a man named Paul Brownstein tracked down a print of the lost show in a St. Louis closet. You never know what's in your closet, right? It has since been broadcast as part of the Museum of Television and Radio Showcase series and released on DVD as part of the Ultimate Rat Pack Collection, Live and Swingin'. Not long after this live broadcast, and despite the dominance of British invasion groups and Motown Soul on the pop charts, Sinatra had another big hit in 1966 with That's Life.
Well, that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that too. When I'm back on top in June, I say that's life. As funny as it may seem, Some people get their kicks stomping on a dream, but I won't let it get me down. 'Cause this old world keeps spinning around. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life, and I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. If I didn't think it was worth one single dime, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out, and I know one thing. Each time I find myself flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life, and I can't deny it. Many times I thought of cutting out, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if nothing shaking here come July, I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die. My.
Okay. Frank Sinatra, the movie Ocean's 11, when he heard about the plot, the 1960s Vegas heist flick that went on to become the Rat Pack's signature big screen adventure, he basically said, this is us. It's our story. It's no wonder Sinatra and his kindred crew of high-living, hard-drinking, skirt-chasing buddies, Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. especially, were gassed to make such a movie. Just like their characters, they loved a good caper. Las Vegas, of course, was the Rat Pack's home away from home. They would perform, play golf, party, gamble, and live life in the fast lane every day they were in town. They took their stage set to the Sands Copa Room and performed to enthusiastic crowds and overwhelming applause. Check this out. The price of a ticket to see the show, which included dinner and 2 drinks, was $5.95 per person. Oh yeah. Those guys were cool. They were happening, and they had a chemistry that became legendary. One of Dean Martin's best remembered tunes is a prime example of his many ethnic Italian-American songs. He recorded quite a few of them, quite a few hits, and this one's called Volare. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, let's fly way up to the clouds, away from the maddening crowd. We could lay on the glow of a star that I know of, where lovers can find peace of mind. Let us leave all illusion and all this confusion behind. Just like birds of a feather, the harmony together we'll find. Volare, oh, cantare, oh, no wonder my happy heart sings. Your love has given me wings. Nel blu, de pinto de blu, felice de stare azul. Ah, yes. End off our little trip to the Rat Pack. Okay, from the late 1950s until they began to splinter apart during the mid-1960s, the members of the Rat Pack, especially Sinatra and Dean Martin, were showbiz's unrivaled kings of swing. Quick with a quip, cuts who could swagger into any joint, from the Sands to Sardi's. and make it the most. You like this language? Isn't this great? Sinatra and Martin paired up on many duets live at the Sands or on regular TV appearances that they made on TV shows all over the different networks at the time. Their impact on entertainment during the late 1950s to the mid-1960s has been very long-lasting. One such duet of the period is 1964's Fly Me to the Moon.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words, darling, kiss me. Yeah, fill my heart with song, let me play forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Yeah, in other words, I love you. Song, let me play forevermore. You are all I long for, all I worship and adore. In other words, please be true. Well, in other words, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that little Rat Pack thing. I got that from about 16 different websites. That's why there were so many different styles of speech. Okay, Annie. Okay, we're going to end off our tribute to Sinatra, and we've got a few more tunes after this. Actually, we're going to take a little break right after this so you can get some food. We can all kind of have a minute. But this is one of Frank Sinatra's his biggest hits, especially of his more recent era. In 1980, he had a huge hit with this song, New York, New York. And we'd like to do it for you right now. We've got a full band version, we've got a couple of soloists, and we hope you enjoy it. Gabrielle on the clarinet solo, Matt on the trumpet solo. Okay, we're going to take about 5 minutes to get a little food, and we'll be back with the last 2 or 3 songs of our set. So thank you. Okay, we're back. Now, this is the non-Sinatra related part of the program, but still, some of the stuff from the same time period, and some of the stuff still in the same swinging kind of style. This one you'll notice, you'll know, and if you've seen the program, you know exactly what it is. One of the most famous movie themes ever by Henry Mancini, the theme from the Pink Panther. Okay, Brendan McHugh on the solo, Lorenzo Gacciatoreno on the solo also. Almost got it there. Getting close. Every year I get it 1 syllable closer. Okay. All right, we're going to throw a little curveball at the band right now. They've never played this background part before. They've heard the song before. It's an F blues. So who's soloing? All right, Lexi soloing, Lorenzo soloing.
Really?
I'll solo. Greg will solo.
Yes.
Of course you will.
Greg!
Go Greg! All right, so what are your directions?
Second time we start singing the verse, that's all. So play the second time.
Okay. Now,
After 36 is all solos. Just lay out the solos and I'll bring you back. We'll come back in with letter A again. So we'll sing the whole song.
okay. All right, here we go.
What was your intro, maybe?
Well, if you ever plan to motor west, travel my way, take the highway, that is the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. It winds from Chicago to LA, more than 2,000 miles all the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Now you go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, she sure looks pretty. You'll see Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Kingman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this timely tip when you made that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. No doubt. Well, if you never plan to motor west, travel my way, that is the highway, that's the best. Get your kicks, Route 66. Go through St. Louis, Joplin, Missouri, Oklahoma City, she sure looks pretty. Amarillo, Gallup, New Mexico, Flagstaff, Arizona, don't forget Winona, Beeman, Boston, San Bernardino. Won't you get hip to this time, let's go, when you made that California trip? Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. Get your kicks, Route 66.
McHugh on the vocals. Good job, man. Lexi, Lorenzo, Greg on the solos. Okay, we're going to end off with a nice groove tune for you. We haven't played anything funky tonight, it's been all swing. And we have to get funky. We have to get funky. All right, who's... We're going to open this up for solos. This is Stevie Wonder's Superstition. Bentley University Jazz Band. Solos on that last song, we had Evan on the alto sax, we had Matt on the trumpet, Lorenzo on the guitar, Lexi on the flute. We've had a great time playing for you. Thank you for being such a nice audience, for paying attention so well, and putting up with all our Sinatra-isms and all the rest of it. There's still plenty of food. If you want to hang around with it, the guys would be happy to give you their autograph if you want it. Just don't superimpose it on a check and try to cash it. All right, thank you, everybody. Special thanks to our guest artist, Mr. Brendan McHugh.